John, any rust from last week coming back?
Yeah, I wasn't too used to playing in a full speed game like situation, but we try to do as much game speed situations in practice. So, there's just a little bit of rust, but I felt like I got over that and played all right.
Do you worry about the hand at all, or?
I don't really think I have time to worry about it. I just try and do what I can do, and if I can't do it, then I can't do it. Tommy's there.
These injuries been frustrating for you, even going back to last year?
Yeah, injuries are always frustrating. I certainly didn't want to miss any time this year, especially after missing some time last year. So it's definitely been frustrating, but it's just something you got to play through.
What's the ceiling for the offense when everyone is healthy and moving well?
I think we have a very good offense, and we can do a lot of good things, especially when everybody's healthy. But it's just the thing is trying to stay healthy. That's the whole thing.
In your first game back, you guys came away with a big, huge win. What's that confidence and that mentality you have coming into this next game?
It's a huge confidence boost. Everybody, they got that taste in their mouth, and we just want to try and roll with the momentum that we have.
How long would you say it took you to get back in the flow of things?
It didn't really take that long. I think we had a pretty good first drive of the game. There was some times where it was kind of lackadaisical, and I made a few errant throws and some mental mistakes, but overall I didn't think it took too long to get back into the rhythm of things.
Does it give you any confidence with Nebraska Kearney giving Washburn such a hard time last week in 3 overtimes?
In this league, anybody can beat anybody on any given Saturday, Thursday, whatever it is. So, that might have been a matchup thing, but, as I recall, we went into overtime with Northeastern State, and, they're a lot more improved team than they were last year, but just like I said, anybody can beat anybody in this league.
Has Coach Beck said anything to you or Thomas about your playing time in the next few games or anything like that?
What do you mean?
Just in terms of when he's going to bring you guys in, because he mentioned maybe swapping you guys out every so often.
Oh, he hasn't mentioned anything to me. So.
What are you expecting to see out of the Washburn defense?
Well, they bring a lot of pressure. They bring a lot of pressure, probably more than we've seen so far this year. But that's just one of the big things that they do. Other than that, they don't really do anything that we haven't seen before, that we're not prepared for.
In your opinion, how's Dre filled in during Michael's absence?
Dre's done a great job. Dre's a great player, Michael's a great player, and it sucks that we had to lose him, or that he, that he had to miss a game or two because of injuries. But Dre stepped in, did a great job, and he's just, it's like the next man up.
How much does having that reliable rusher, how much does that open up the rest of the offense?
I really think that you have to be able to run the ball well to win a game, and that's the first part. Whenever you can get them worried about the run, the defense worried about the run, then that opens up the pass game, and that opens up your whole offense.
Ethan, how do you think the defense played last week?
We had a solid outcome. Defensive line did really well, so did the defensive backs. They had a couple good plays that, one might have not really counted, but that's all right. We overcame some adversity at the very beginning, and then we finished strong at the end.
Best performance of the year, do you think? Or?
Yes. We also did not play all 4 quarters where we wanted to. We played about three quarters that we, as a defense, where our goal was, but we did not play all 4 quarters like we wanted to, though.
What do you think the key is to, get that 4 quarters of football?
Key is, having good practice. We've had excellent practices this week. We've really worked on the basis, scheme-wise, have a good game plan coming in for this week. So hopefully we can complete all 4 quarters this week.
What does it take to slow down a quarterback like Ethan is?
He does. He's a good quarterback. He makes good, solid throws, accurate, very accurate. We'll just have to get to him. Our defensive line will have to make him run out of the pocket and start throwing.
Take me through your interception return.
It was definitely a defensive entire group play. Defensive line got at the quarterback, had to make him throw. Defensive backs did their job, and that ball ended up coming right to me, which I'll take that, and then had to score.
No problem scoring?
No, sir.
Any nerves before your first start?
No. Meach and Spencer did a good job helping me out. Coach Roth did too, so did Coach Weimer's. We watched plenty of film, one of the schemes multiple times, and they helped me out a lot.
Is there confidence, defense-wide, that if somebody goes down, then that somebody else is going to be able to come in and contribute?
There is. I mean, everybody prepares. If you're first string, second string, third string, everybody prepares like they're going to play for the game.
The team had success against the run last week, holding Lindenwood to 57 yards. How important was that to the outcome in terms of getting them one-dimensional?
I mean, it was huge. I mean, that was our goal, stop the run, make them have to throw, make the quarterback have to move out of the pocket. And that was his weakness of throwing around out of the pocket. He was not mobile.
Is that one of the big takeaways from last week going to this week in terms of having a good outing in the run game?
Yes, they're big on power game, G lead game, so they're big on running. So that'll be a big goal for this week, stop the run.
Kind of seems like one of the themes to your wins this year has been a big defensive play, taking it back for a touchdown, something like that. It's just that kind of what do you guys need to get a little extra push in some of these games?
We think so. I mean, we had a good goal line stop, and that was a big upside for us after going through some adversity at the very beginning of the first quarter, having a couple of deep throws on us that scored touchdowns. But I think a big goal line stop, something like that, gets us going.
You guys, the defense has given them a few big plays this year. Being able to battle through that, though, and still be able to come back and get those wins. When a play like that happens, does it hurt as much as what it did at the beginning of the year when it was kind of a let-out, but now you guys know, hey, we can go back right out there and get that win back?
Yeah, we've already battled, in 4 games, we've already battled a lot of adversity, so we're ready. We're kind of, we expect that, and we know how to overcome something like that.
In your opinion, what makes this team so good at bouncing back and be able to shake things off?
We trust each other. I mean, everybody knows they're 1-11 through our family.
Coach, was last week your most complete game of the season?
Yeah, I think it probably was. There were some times in the second and third quarter where we wasn't as sharp on both sides of the ball that we'd like to be, but getting off to the start that we did in the first quarter and finishing the way that we did in the fourth quarter on both sides of the ball, I thought was very good.
Talk about the big game that Austin Panko had.
Yeah, Austin's a great example of a young man that's waited his turn to play. He's worked very hard to get where he's at, and he's definitely improved in the weight room and become a faster player, and I think that shows. We weren't 100% sure of who we were going to pick to be our punt returner, but now we're pretty confident we picked the right guy. And he also showed as a receiver, he's a tough, physical, gritty kid that catches the ball when it's thrown to him, and showed that he had a little speed to go score there as well.
What do you see on film about Washburn?
Washburn's physical on both sides of the ball, offensive line and defensive line. They get after it really good up there, and their offense will run a lot of different personnel groups, but when they decide to get in 2 backs, they're going to run it at you, and you got to be able to stop it. And then defensively, big, strong guys as in the D line and linebacker. Again, they're physical on both sides of the ball, and that's the biggest thing that we have to be ready for.
Coach, how did you feel last week with John's play returning to the field?
Well, I thought the first series was tremendous, and I know that he was unhappy with himself on the interception, and then he had one play where he didn't have the ball tucked quite away good enough, and had a fumble, and those are kind of glaring mistakes. But overall, did some really nice things and was very poised in the pocket, and we missed a couple throws here and there, but had a nice game.
You guys ended up taking him out there in the second half. Was that something that was planned going into it, or did you feel just the way the game was going, you guys could take him out and it'd be all right?
It wasn't necessarily planned. We got to pick and choose our times, but I think we've shown that our backup's a capable player, and he can get in there and do some nice things as well. And so we have to kind of just feel a game out, see how it's going. But we'd like to play Thomas also.
Is that something you're going to plan on continuing to do throughout the season?
Yeah, but again, we'll just wait and see how the games are going to determine when and where we do that.
McGinnis had a pretty good game against you guys last year. What kind of challenges does he pose for your defense?
He had an outstanding game against us last year, is right, and he caught fire at times, and he's got those ability to have great streaks like that. So, hopefully we can find a way to put some pressure on him. It's hard because they do a good job of pass protection up front, but hopefully we can find a way to put some pressure on him and get him on the move and get him out of the pocket. He's got a strong arm, so he can throw it all over the field. So he presents some problems.
How'd you feel the defense played last week?
Other than a couple of big plays, we gave up one big play for a touchdown. We gave up one big play where they didn't get any points out of it. And then, we gave up the big play that was kind of a fluke deal on the receiver, on the corner, almost intercepting and the ball popping up and then catching it in the air and going. So you take those 3 or 4 things away, and then it looks a lot different than it really was. And holding people to 19 points this day and age is a pretty tough task.
Right. Was it nice to be able to have one of those games where you kind of pulled away at the end instead of kind of having those nail biters all the way up to the final whistle?
It was very nice. I wish the end would have been longer than it was, just because 3 minutes to go, third quarter, it's still a 1-possession ball game. So, but yeah, there's no doubt it's really great to be able to get everybody in the game and let everybody get some playing time.
Coming off such a big win, how is that confidence level going into another road game?
Well, I hope that after game 1 and winning the next 3, I hope that we're gaining confidence. We still have a lot of young players that are getting better every week, and so every play they play and every week we play, they're learning more about how to play, and I think that's really important. And hopefully we can find a way to just kind of keep winning them one game at a time and grow some of these guys up.
Talk about having a young team out there. You guys are, one play away from being 4-0 to this point in the year. Just talk about the confidence that young team does have, and just kind of how it builds week to week.
I told our team a week ago, there's been teams over the years, we've had teams that was never behind until week 6, 7, or 8, and this team's been behind multiple times, and so they've found ways to face that adversity and come back, and heck, and the way people score nowadays, it's you're never out of the game, or you never have it iced either. So you got to be understand the importance of playing one play at a time.
Is there anything else you're looking to try and clean up at this point in the year?
There's a lot of things still to clean up, both offensively and defensively. We kind of do our own players of the week with our coaching staff, and last week was the first week we'd ever had 3 guys that we put up for special teams player of the week, because Darius White blocked 2 extra points. Austin Panko, has the great punt return, and Carter Ankers has a school record 84-yard punt, which was pretty amazing. So, but even special teams, even though we felt good about what we did last week, we've got to get all 11 of those guys clicking, and we don't have that. We're not there yet.
Does having that ability to play from behind, does that give your team an added depth to it?
I think it does. I think it really does. Again, we're not. We get down a touchdown or 2, we're not going to panic, and that's a big deal. Having the right mindset and having everybody believe that you can come back, and so we've had to do that several times to this point. So it was nice to be up 13-0 last week and end up getting that win, but we also understand that can happen, and don't panic and let's play.
What does it take, leadership-wise, both offensively and defensively, to be able to have that mentality?
Well, that's a big reason why we've been able to do it. It's because we've got good leadership, and we've got guys that have done it enough to know that you're not out of it, and it's not never over till it's over kind of mentality. So I think that's what's allowed us to be able to do it. It's because of our leadership.